All right, you guys, we are about to get started. As you all can see, me and TaJuan are here having fun. Got going with the Mothership 8 palette. Look at her, honey. She came through for the girls, honey. There was no competing. Beautiful colors. Beautiful palette, honey. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you all swatches of this in an upcoming video. We were racing trying to get this going because we both have places to be. But I promise you all, I'm gonna do an upcoming video showing my entire Pat McGrath collection and swatches of every palette. But I wanted to show you all tutorials on the Mothership 7 that I am wearing right now, honey. Look at her. And the Mothership 8 that TaJuan is wearing, and look at the skin. I'm talking beat. We talking snatch, like, honey.
Y'all see this highlight though, like
yeah. So if you all would like to see how we got this breathtaking and stunning look, just go ahead and continue to watch. So we're gonna go ahead and get started now. As we already stated, we are using the Pat McGrath Mothership 8 palette. And you see that, no swatches, no marks, no anything. And as you see, my client has a bare face right here, smooth, even skin. But before we jump into eyeshadows, we're gonna start off with the face tutorial. I'm gonna make sure I leave everything in the description bar below. And we're gonna start with primer. Our first primer, Becca Evermatte. We wanna make sure this is gonna last all day, remove oils and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and apply that with the Eco Tools brush. Can't remember the name of this brush right here, but once again, I'll leave everything in the description bar below. And we're gonna start with this right here over the nose in our T-zone areas. And just a little info for you all. This is TaJuan. This was my very first male client. When I was doing freelance work, I just went in thinking, baby, every day was about to be a dramatic look. We about to be doing editorial, all these purples and all these glitters and all these greens. Honey, 90% of the time you are doing neutrals for women who want a very subtle look. If you think you about to be doing Cirque du Soleil every day out here, honey, you better get you a job at a magazine because it won't happen like that. But the first time I was able to get to do TaJuan's makeup, I was extremely ecstatic because I had already canceled my plans for Pride that year. So the idea of me not being able to go turn up and turn out and having to sit at home and work, it was terrible. But the idea of knowing I was gonna get my practice in was amazing. And our look that we did on him that first year, baby, they was on his head.
Oh my God!
You couldn't tell him that.
You could tell. You can't. I was just. Ooh. I felt like that girl that day. I did. You did your thing. You did your thing.
Our Maybelline Hydrating Primer in 050. Applying that with the same brush. All right, we have primer on. We're going in for a full coverage foundation look, honey. We want to go good. And for foundation, we're going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I still haven't got it in the pouch yet just to see if I prefer it in the pouch or the bottle, but because I still have the bottles here left for my freelance kit, we're going to use this in the shade 356 Warm Coconut. And we're going to apply that with the Real Techniques number 200 brush. We're going to start, I'm just going to apply all over the skin first. Then we'll blend and buff that in. Once again, I said we are going for the coverage, honey. Okay, now that we're done with foundation, we're going to go ahead with concealer. For concealer, we're going to go in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Medium 3 Praline. And we're going to use this to highlight the face. I like to go concealer crazy, honey. So we're going to get us a few dips. And we don't like to double dip our wand, so we're going to use several disposables. And just because we know there's a lot of color right there on the edge of the wand, we're going to use this here. Remember, we're going for full coverage glam for Mother McGrath today, so we got to bring it. Now that our concealer is set for a few moments, I'm going to go ahead and buff that out using the Real Techniques complexion sponge. And because it was sitting on the shelf for a few moments and dry it out, I rehydrated it using my Evian facial spray. Start on this side just because it's furthest from me. And right now I'm just worried about getting this covering the cheeks and close to the under eye area. I'm not really worried about that being the absolute most covered area right here underneath the eye, because I am going to go in with a slightly lighter shade and blend that out as well. My main concern is getting it right here on that center of that cheek. And then when you turn to the side here, you'll notice that it's not there so much. We're just going to diffuse the edges over here to the side. We want that brightness to be right there in the center of the face. Do the same on this side. Blending it in toward the center of the face, coming up toward the eye, but stopping about right here in the front and just diffusing it up and out on the sides. This is going to give the eye and face a lifted look and make sure we are nice and bright and highlighted in the center. Alright, we're going to have you look straight up just to blend out any lines, because trust me, everyone has under eye creases, don't feel bad. And then we're going to press this right here underneath the eye. Our main concern, once again, is just stopping any creases from going on. And once we have that going there, we'll be able to set the rest of the face with a different brush. This is the area I am most concerned with. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. To set the rest of the face, we're going to use that same powder, and my apologies, I'm going to once again leave everything down below. And now we're going to use the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush to press that powder all over the rest of the face. Alright, and before we go ahead and set our lids, we're going to add just a tiny bit of concealer on the edge of this and press it right here. And then we're going to set that using the same powder that we used to set our under eye in the exact same brush, our Real Techniques setting brush. Eyes closed. And here she goes. Alright, first shade up. We're going to go in right here. Let's see, I don't want to drop her. This shade right here, we're going to go in. It is called Naked Blush. And I'm going to be going in with that as a transition shade using my Sigma E38 brush. And we're going to start off on this side. Buff that all the way across the crease. Remember, this is going to be a transition shade. And now that we have our transition shade blended out, we're gonna go in and deepen up our crease using this shade here. This is Astro Pink Moon, and we're gonna diffuse that with the Sigma E25 brush. Now that we have that shade blended out, I'm going to cover my lid with the NYX Glitter Primer and use the Morphe M421 brush. Now that we have our eyes primed, we're going to go ahead and go in with lid shades. This middle shade, Eleganza, I want to try that shade right there.
Eleganza.
Oops, see? That's what you get. For our next lid shade, we're going to go in with Skinshow Rose Opal, this first shade on the top here. We can go in with Rose Seduction on the very outer edge just because it's really bright, and we can deepen that up a little later. Now that we have our lid shades on, I want to go in using my Sigma E25 brush and going back in with that shade Xtreme Burgundy. We're just going to use that to deepen up the outer V here. Now that we have the eyes almost finished, we're going to go in, finish off the face. First step is using our e.l.f. brush and removing any and all loose powder that we had from baking. With our setting brush.
She cute though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, and we ain't even done brightening your eyes yet. Like, and you see how like on camera that.
Yeah, I'm looking at her. I ain't even looked in the mirror.
Some more, now to contour the face, we're gonna go in with the It for Ulta number 12 brush and the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I have a custom warm palette here, and we're gonna use this shade Subconscious. Next, we're gonna go ahead and sculpt our cheeks, forehead, and jawline using that same contour powder and the Real Technique sculpting brush. And that's what you go in with just enough, so once I barely see it, chances are, once it settles, it's gonna get a little bit darker. You don't wanna do that whole streak. So we come back in, and I do it right here underneath the jawline too.
Yeah, that's how I messed up. I didn't do it right.
Because just like with this, we just putting just enough right here so that it's just tiny bit darker here than it is there. For blush, we're going to go in with the ABH Blush Trio, and we're going to use the shade Exotic right here in the middle. We're going to use that with the Heavenly Luxe brush by IT Cosmetics. See that one got a nice little pink hue to it too. So that way you got a nice little slight blush, because although we wanted that cheek to be a bunch lighter than the rest of the face, we want this light little bit of color there. So if for any reason you smile, like how you see how this side is darker than that side, you want it so just in case you smile and you pinch your cheek together, that little pink will come in together for a slightly darker color and make it look like blood is rushing to the skin. That's what blush is supposed to make it look like. And now we are going to go ahead and brighten underneath the eyes. Gonna go in with the shade 2 for the Laura Mercier Sheer Candle Glow Perfecting Powder. We're going to use this powder in the Sigma E50 Large Fluff Brush to clean up underneath the eyes before we add mascara and lashes. Just to give us a little more brightness, I'm going to spread a little bit of that powder right here in the center of the cheek. Now, while that sets, we're going to go ahead, do brows and mascara. I'm going to comb through my lashes first just to make sure there isn't any shimmer eyeshadow or anything that can clump my mascara. Brush our brow hairs up.
I need to get on my ex. The nail shop's not open.
For mascara, we're going to go in with the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. We're going to use disposable wands. Remember, we do not use our personal mascara on our clients. This one is my personal one. This is a client's. For lashes, we're going to support Eyeshine Lash Connoisseur. We're going to use their lashes in the style Lil Baby. I wanted to use these just because we're using the Mothership palette. We love Mother, and today we're going to feel like her little baby. And we're going to apply these using the Duo Quick Set Strip Lash Adhesive. I'm going to cut the camera off, apply those lashes, and then we'll be right back. Now that we have lashes on, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the brows. We're going to use our Fenty Beauty Brow MVP in the shade Dark Brown. Just going to fill in our brows because he has a natural full brow, so we don't want to go in and create a whole new shape or anything. We just want to clean up what's there. Brow MVP, this ain't brow pencil. I used to use Anastasia's. And now that we have our brows filled, we're going to set them with the ABH Clear Brow Gel. Push those hairs up. And then come over to the side. Before we go in, we want to remove any mascara that may have smudge using a dry clean Q-tip. And now we're going to dust away our face powder using the same Sigma E50 brush. Now we're going to go in with shade 3 of that same powder and our Bare Minerals Blooming Blush Brush, and we're going to buff that all over the rest of the face except the under eye. Now we're going to go in with this shade right here, Gold Lust 001, to highlight the brow bone. Then we're going to go in with this shade right here, VR Extraterrestrial, for the inner eye corner. Applying both those shades with the Morphe M124 brush. All right, and now for the inner eye corner, we're going to go ahead, pick up that VR Extraterrestrial. And after I do the inner eye corner, I'm going to look and see if I want to carry this across the eye a little bit. But we're going to see what this color looks like first. Just because that is beautiful, I want to take that and place that right in the center of the eyelid. And for highlighter, although I want the color of this Pat McGrath highlighter, which is Pale Gold 003, this middle shade here. I tend to find that it's not as high shine and blinding as I want for this look, so I may layer it with another highlighter, MAC Oh Darling. We're gonna start center of the nose, lip. Still want just a little more shine coming from this look. So I am going to go ahead and add that MAC highlighter on top of this. MAC Oh Darling to help set her free. Straight down the nose as well. Cupid's bow. And any remaining product can go right above the brow and on the chin. And our last step is to go in with our lips, and of course we're going to go in with the Permagel Ultra Lip Pencil in the color Suburbia. This color was also released with the Divine Rose 8 collection, but I already had it. And we're just going to go ahead and line our lips. And I'm a very big fan of slightly filling in the lips with clients and buffing it out with a brush just to ensure that I don't have a harsh line. So now that we have that lip line filled in, we're going to go in with the e.l.f. contour brush and slightly buff that out. And the lipstick shade that was released with this palette is in the matte trance. It is the color Christy. So we're going to go ahead and scrape some of this off onto a lip palette and apply this to the lips. And now that I'm looking at the lips that we are filled, I want to go ahead and just tone them down just a little bit because I am loving the shape, but I don't want that color to compete with the eyes. So we're going to go back in and tone this down with a darker liner. This is the Pat McGrath liner in the shade Manhattan. We're going to go ahead and top the lips off with this color, Flesh 4 by Pat McGrath. And we're going to go ahead and add that just to the center of the lips using the same wand that we applied the lipstick with. We only want to apply this to the center of the lips just to give us a little color, and then it can spread out from there. Go ahead, finish her off. You already know the MAC Fix Plus is the first spray. Come down here. And our last step, you all already know the phrase. Cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. We're going to give this a few moments to dry and we'll be back with the final look. And this is the final look. As you all can see, he is loving everything. Mother McGrath did not disappoint. We came through, full coverage, got glam, and everything turned out wonderful. This is why I absolutely love Pat McGrath, because even with the first impressions, I go in unbothered and unworried. I know the quality will be there. And with a collection like Pat McGrath Mothership 8, honey, it's going to be the biggest palette of the year. So I had to bring it to you all on a different type of client, because we all know there are many women on YouTube that are showing how this looks, but I just wanted to show you all this on a masculine figure. He's looking amazing. We are beat. We are fabulous. And I hope you all truly enjoyed this tutorial. If you all have anything else you want to see on my channel, please leave that in the description box below. I'm going to make sure I leave TaJuan's information in the description box for his Instagram so you can get more pics of this beat glorious look, honey, because look, he is killing it, honey. Can't tell us nothing. But if there's anything else, please let me know. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to the channel, and always remember to continue to practice, stay blessed, and if there's nothing else, goodbye, YouTube.
Peace.